Hello. It's your choice. Your choice. Let's play this one game. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's not go with the list. Actually, okay, you know what? Let's go with Salazar and Prince of A. Come on. Let's go first question. Do they have any stripes? Yes. Oh. Vertical. Which way is horizontal again? Okay, it's horizontal. What do you mean? Back. Up. And yes. Not equal sizes. Top. Middle. Thicker one. And bottom. One more question. A red. And 2 stars. A red triangle and 2 stars. All close. Venom. Desert. 3 disease. The best way to open it up is with notepad. There's fire. But we could change it to a dot. Bat. Bat. Yes. I could still use it, see? Oh, it's a guessing game. Try and guess my number. 140. Yes. That did not take me that much. Nah, young man. You old man. We'll go disk clean. Roblox disclaimer. I mean, there's a little bit. There's like a few megabytes, roughly about 200 megabytes. That isn't much, but yeah, let's just clean that. Recommended for you. How do they know? No. Where's a Skippy tweet? Please donate, but you are as him. Your mom. What the hell? What the hell, madam? What is this? It's a package. How do I get? How do you even play this game? Oh, it looks like I have no idea how to play this. 3, 2, 1. Yes. Okay, I'm in. Please don't need beat. That is not the game. The game Roblox way faster than the other games. What if you're having oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell? Oh my god. Jump on the dollar. Liam SV Vibe XOX. How much money? Money. $33,000. 111. Spin for 5k. Spin for 1k. Spin for 1k. To win whatever. Oh my. Yeah, just give me a cheap little spin. Oh my god. How do I click the green button? Such a pub. Hello. One spin. Ten. Okay. Go simple. Create. Bid for 1K to win whatever it lands on. Doing it with 1K. Am I still holding my sign, but I don't have my sign? New update! I have one gift. Thank you. Hey, what's the new update already? 100. 1,000. 10K. 5,000. 300. 700. 4,000. And 1,400. There you go. Spin for 1K to land on whatever it lands on. Spin. Spin no 1K. Spin no 1K. Come on, man. Spin only 1K. Spin. I'll give you the spin. Okay. 1K. That's 1K. Really? 30 million. Just one guy. Wow. 'Cause I haven't actually played the real thing, the real game itself, quite a long time. So I want to see how the actual police do it. That's right. I've not been in this game for so long. You know, somebody might even do. You know, somebody might know, don't know. Who knows? Jeff. Jeff Shop. So actually make it a real Jeff Shop. Yeah, I've never donated 1 mil. See, I still have the 1 mil. Is there a real gift book exchange? Or are these fake games copying each other? This game seems so similar to the Greek game, doesn't it? This knockoff is actually quite good. That's the Morse code. Translate that. That's just S. It's nothing complicated. Literally just the letter S. It's just being repeated a million times. So whatever. I was gonna use a translator, but then I just need to just the letter S. It's not that complicated. Oh my god. The bullet! And give it to you. Yes, I'm fixing it now. I'm glitching. I'm glitching. Help. How are the I'll give you 100. I'll give you money. I'm not trying to get this nice one. Have to find things. Nope, nope. Nope. No. I was the one that spelled wrong. Hobnob spelled wrong. Nope. Hobnob nob nob. Nob nobs. It says nothing about it. Nob nob. So scary. In my last month, I got 2 subscribers, 473 views, and 8 hours of watch time. Wow, that is just crazy. That is a lot. I've got 8 hours of watch time. What was this? Somewhere in like May, I got 93 views on one day. That's just crazy. What? Wait, what? No, but not gonna lie, my videos always used to get like 1 to even 0 views. Oh, what is this? I forgot this. I got 81, yeah. I always used to get like 1 view. If you look all over here, there's only a few that have. Those Silent Speedrun. I got like 1,000,000 for that. I get a lot of views for Those Silent Speedrun. Oh, that's open now. Traffic source. It was mainly browse features. Wow, did Beluga get like super popular then? Geography. US and UK. No other country. I got a little bit more watch time and view time from Americans than UKans, but they're mainly similar. Cities, you can't actually show because they don't know yet. 18 to 24 years, everybody. All of my subscribers, 18 to 24. That's just crazy. 100% of my views. Your gender. Okay, so 82% of my viewers are male. How many? In total, I have how many? 1,000? 2,600. I have 2,600 views. 70% would be roughly 700. Roughly about there. Yeah, not too much. I'm sorry, my computer's super. How am I to fix it? I did not. Oh, how is it? Like, I literally cannot do it with my own. It'll just explode. On 31st of May, I got 473 views. Quite a lot of people are not subscribed. Now, is this the point to mention? 86.1% of you people who watch my videos are not subscribed. If you would like to get that number to higher, please make sure to subscribe. I mean, to get the number lower, so the subscribed would be over 14%, not 14. It should be higher than that. Content type. I actually get more views from my videos than my live stream. My shorts are negative. I should make my shorts. Device type. That would be quite interesting. A lot of people watch from computer, a little bit, quite a bit also watch with phone. 25 watch with tablet, and only 12 people watch with TV on my channel. To be honest, that's why is that a choice? Now, here I can see how many videos from my videos into playlist. Operating system, whoa. Okay, so Windows, of course, we have like a lot. Android also quite a bit. iOS. What the heck is Macintosh? It's a Mac. It's an iMac. Okay. I was wondering why that's not on there. Quite a big drop, only 3.6%. Chrome OS, it's 9. 9 views. Chrome OS. This month. Smart TV 7. Linux, Roku, Amazon Fire, Amazon Fridge, and Nintendo Switch are all 1. Translation use, original language, 439. Translated, only 8. Not bad, not bad. Subtitles. No subtitles. 465 and only 7. English United Kingdom, only 1. Cards type. Channel. Card. Brilliant. Of course! Of course! Oh, I kinda knew it. I really did. Post. Play videos. Play it. Oh, YouTube send. 3 of those views are from, no, 2 of those are from my phone. A few of those are probably going to be from other phones, and a few of those are probably going to be from TVs, Amazon smart fridges, stuff like that. That content is quite interesting. Lego someday.
Today, Arky and I play Roblox Doors, but it's completely made out of Legos. Dude, that's so cool! Subscribe in the next 3 seconds to start the game. 3, 2, 1. Oh, we're in the elevator.
Is this Doors but Lego?
Look at the walls. They're literally Legos.
Oh
Minecraft.
my god, that's insane.
Oh my gosh, Arky, look at this.
It's Doors.
Look at the bell.
Crazy.
It's like a blocky Lego bell. It says subscribe every time I ding it. Oh my gosh.
What is this? Look at all these things dancing around.
I don't know why they're wiggling, but they're just from the hotel.
Oh my god, look at the fire.
Whoa, this is sick. And these are the bookshelves from Doors too. There's a little chair. This is in the actual Doors. And the key. Arky, behind you.
Oh, I'll get it.
Grab it. It's for door number 1. The key is so blocky.
Let's go.
Right click the door and open it. Oh.
Nice. Ready to door 1.
Oh my gosh, look at these windows. Everything is Lego. Okay.
Oh, I
don't-
broke it.
Oh, look, it's a closet. Hide. We can hide in
No
here.
way. That's insane.
Another closet. I love how that works. Look, they are literally. Oh, okay. Wait, that was just
What's
thunder.
that?
I'm sorry. I thought it was Rush.
Oh.
Hey, we both got lighters. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
These are so cool. They literally are Lego lighters.
God, door number 8. We're crushing. Oh, look at the hallway. This is
We're already.
sick.
Oh my gosh, we're already going so fast. This lighting is beautiful.
Okay, I don't think anybody's coming. I think we're okay.
Hey, Arky, look at this. You ready? Watch.
Whoa! How
I'm
are you in the
swimming.
bookcase?
I'm swimming.
And you're cheating.
Okay, door 11. Oh my gosh, it's one of the big rooms. Look at how Lego
my
this is.
gosh.
I don't even know if
This
that's how
is
you say it.
Crazy.
But it's so Lego-fied. Like,
Oh.
We are about to enter door 12. Oh, it's the painting room. Okay, we have to figure this out. So, square one goes on the square, obviously. Where's the rectangle, dude?
5 hours later.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa.
Did you just see the fireplace?
Wow, it just descended into the ground.
This is all Lego.
They even have Lego plants.
Oh, the Lego Roblox Stores collab is real. Hey, I got a bandage.
I almost took it from you.
Oh, I got another bandage.
Oh, no, you have more bandages than me.
Look how shiny these books are, bro. That's so cool.
Crazy.
Okay, door 19. Oh, we're getting a little bit closer to some
19,
monsters. You just broke the luggage. Somebody's vacation was in that, bro.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna break that one too.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's Seek. It's eyes.
Don't look at him. Don't look at him.
I'm not looking. I'm looking. Ah! Is this the Seek chase room?
Oh, the music. Go.
Oh my gosh.
Run.
Crouch. I'm slow. I'm sorry. Okay, go through.
Go.
Crouch. All through this Lego room. Crouch. Oh my gosh. Okay, through it. Which door? 24 right here. Okay, crouch. I can hear your Lego footsteps. Okay.
Don't get duped.
Go. Okay, 26. Open. Oh my gosh. It's the Seek arms.
Hey, this is so cool. It's all Lego.
Oh my gosh. I just jumped. I think that was an illegal action indoors. I can't get it.
Oh my god. Okay, thankfully the music stopped. I think we're okay.
Oh my gosh. Remember this room from Doors?
Oh my goodness, I hate this room.
Oh my gosh. The library is getting so close. Figure is gonna be here.
Okay, let's see if we can find something in this room to like help us defend ourselves or something. Look at the chandeliers, man.
Oh!
Oh my gosh!
What?
Doodle, look at this.
Is that a Lego sword?
I'm taking it.
Oh my gosh!
Goodness, come here, Doodle.
You look so cool with it.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Walk through.
gotta be careful. Hear the music.
Oh, I see Figure. Oh my gosh. I see the Lego version of Figure. We have to find all the books in the bookshelf before Figure gets to us. Look at this book. Arky,
What?
it's popping out. If I grab it. Oh, X's too. Okay, perfect. We need to find all the other ones. Square is
Last one.
4.
4. Come on, it should work.
Oh, we're through. Okay, we're out of there. And I didn't even have to use my hefty Lego sword. You can have it. It's yours now.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh! It's Lego Bob!
Bob, yeah!
Don't hit him! Oh my gosh. And look. Jeff's shop.
You think Jeff's gonna give me anything if I give him the diamond sword?
He might. I don't know. Try it.
Oh, 3, 2. I don't know, man. Are you sure?
Give it to him!
Okay. No way. He gave me a dirt block.
You got scammed by Jeff!
Doodle.
Yes?
So I just thought this room was a bit interesting. So we're gonna play a game of hide and seek.
We still have to get through all the rooms. Why are we getting distracted?
Yeah, well, if I win, I get the next diamond sword, and if you win, you get it. You have to find me within 30 seconds, though. Go!
Okay, that's fair. You were over here. You're not in Jeff. I'm sorry for hitting you, Jeff. Yeah, you aren't Bob. Behind these crates, no. In this other room. Can you tell me you're not in the other room? Can you confirm?
Yeah, I'll say that.
Not in that corner. No, not there. No!
Okay, you get the
You
diamond
were
sword.
in the
30.
easiest spot ever, and I couldn't find you. Okay. 34. What?
Oh my goodness.
Is this-
What is
Does
this?
that mean there's the basement? Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Whoa. This basement is so cool. There's the vent. I'm going in the vent. I'm swimming through it. It's so
my goodness.
shiny in here.
That's crazy.
Whoa. Okay, I'm opening.
Feels like I'm getting swallowed.
Oh.
Don't pull yet.
Look at the Lego lever. That is so cool.
Oh my goodness. No way. That is insane.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Whoa, it just slid open.
That is so sick. Oh no. Is this a dupe door?
Oh, no, it is. Oh, I don't know which one it is. Is it this one?
I have no idea. We're gonna have to decide. And I'm terrified to make the decision.
I don't know what to do. I'm just procrastinating.
I want to be correct with the dupe door, but I'm honestly very curious what Lego dupe looks like.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'm gonna go through 37 and you're going through 38.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh,
Oh! Successful!
Looks like you gotta go through door number 38.
Wait, that wasn't the bet. There was no bet.
Yeah, it said that you were gonna go through the dupe door.
You want me to
Okay, you
die?
know what? At the end of this, we'll come back to this door and go through the dupe door. For now, let's continue going.
Sounds like a plan. It's the blue room. It's like Lego and so cool, but it's also so scary. Okay, room 40. It's the hospital room.
Oh.
Look at these Lego beds. I don't know why, Arky, but I'm just so fascinated with the Lego beds. They are so cool. Keep watching because there's so many more rooms to go through. Ah!
Oh my god.
At his eyes. Okay. Move through very quietly. I just passed through him. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this lamppost. It's so cool.
Whoa, it'd be a shame if somebody broke it.
You just broke it. You know who we haven't seen out the window? Is the window entity. No, stay. Oh, we're at the outside, Arky.
Oh, no way. This is so cool.
These are all Lego. The trees are so beautiful, and they're waving a little bit, which is illegal in the Lego world.
Yeah, what is happening? What is this? This isn't realistic.
All right, Arky, it's now my time to hide, and you're gonna be the seeker.
What? Where'd you go?
Your reward will be the next diamond sword.
Oh, so I'll win it back. Okay.
Yeah, you'll win it back, but you only have 30 seconds to find me. Good luck.
30 seconds? This place is so big. Let's let you go. This isn't fair.
5,
3.
4,
Oh my
3,
goodness.
2,
I found you.
1. No!
Yeah, I get the diamond sword. You suck.
All right, we're moving on. We're getting distracted again. Through the door. Oh my gosh. 54. It's very dark in here. Wait. Oh, it's a larger room. Okay, just keep going. 57. 58. 59.
Oh, it's starting to get a little bit lighter.
60.
Whoa.
This is the figure room. The escape is right there.
6.
But figure might be in here.
Do we just run for it?
I don't know. Just keep crouch. Keep crouch. Keep crouch. Keep quiet. What is that? I know figure might be in here, but I want to explore. Can you enter? Ah.
Okay, I'm pulling the
Go
lever.
for it. Oh my gosh, it's open.
Go.
Go.
What's
Oh, it's
Oh my
figure.
gosh. Get in the elevator.
Oh my gosh, go. Press the button.
Where's the button?
Where is it?
Where's the button?
Oh, I found it.
Yes!
Akinator. EN. Akinator. What's the new rainbow? Oh, yellow. No. No. Yes. No. No, we're in yellow. No. Oh, he is yellow. No. Yes. I'm trying to guess. 1,000 times. Okay, we're going to cyan. I guess you can. Yeah. No. What the? Yes, he does have legs. No. Yes. Cyan. That is not cyan from. Good job. I'll go with orange. Bing chilling. Oh, we're gonna go with red. Good job. Oh. Let's try this again. Whoa! But you didn't care about the table, but you cared about the TV. I'm sorry, I did it the other way. I tried to not break the... I tried to not break any of them. I accidentally the TV. The table's fine. At least you have a free table. I'll give you the same free. Oh my bing chilling. Bing chilling. I did it. Just left. He said it isn't going to table. I don't care about TV. The table's fun. I mean, the table just broke by accident. TV's fine. All the bottles are broken. Oh, sorry. Oh, actually, just kidding. Let's see your reaction. This could be a speedrun. This could be a speedrun. Oh. Okay, speedrun. Speedrun. Instant up. Oh, God. We're gonna tap the wall. So we're gonna do. Yes. Come on. What? Speedrun. Hey, will I still get Guinness World Record? Well, technically, every game I'm very close. Happy music and that. We have to have that own Guinness World Record. So the only thing is, the only one that good. Fastest time specific. That's just that. Left. What will show up there? Is that? What is it that they have? Oh, madam. Somebody's gonna waste me. So they'll never let me. I think this one. 38.33. Let's just see the world. For now. 11 seconds. You're cute. Okay, shit. TV. Is he gonna win? He landed in the FCC. Imagine he actually won. That'd be the world's craziest thing ever. Oh. You know, if I beat 38 seconds, I can't last the record. Oh my. Okay. If I beat 38 seconds, I'll count another one. That is my fastest. I know I'm the owner. You know, they know any secret trick. Usually it's a secret trick, you know? Yeah. Let's just try it. Okay, so let's just try that. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe not. Do it. I'll make a replay so people can check the replay of this one. That's a winning Yes! How? Oh, I did it! Say replay. Oh, man. Oh. I'm not logged in. Well, at least I'm happy there's no one left. Yeah. Secret profile. Now, it's just, you just have to expect it. Yeah. You have to expect the unexpected. So, this is a regular ball. Just a secret. Ooh, can I give this a laugh? So there's some bouncy loopings. Yeah, that's gonna stop me on then. It isn't even a ball. And then that happens. Oh. Oh my. No. One time. You're old man. Oh, I thought that. This is also that a jellyfish. If you guys know where you're from, please show me where the note is.
Oh god!
They get like a chain group. It is. And they add it, I guess the mania. And then they just add it with basically a genome. You guys haven't watched the one video about the theory. The genome claw is that a character has over 3 genomes. Basically what that does is that all the genomes just mix into one. And the character just becomes uncontrollable. And as you know, Stinger Flynn, he has 3 genes. If the children were supposed to put he has human, jellyfish, and Javanium. Javanium. What is this thing? What genome? Jumbo. Joshua. Just stay on the wiki. Just Javanium. So we don't know. Don't these logos look quite similar? Yeah, they're basically the same. Where do you find I don't get it. Who knows? Right. Yeah. I just do that. This time was like it's not about 4 efficient trade. brand new screensaver. It's really cute. Okay, let me just. I can't remember where it shows up. So this. So speech. Let's turn it off. Listen, the voice access. I'm not done. Hello. 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 Yes. Yes. Bing. Chillong. Bing chilling. Bing English.
You've probably seen this video by now.
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇
Bing
淋，
chilling.
我很喜欢冰淇淋。
Bing chilling.
But do you know what it actually means?
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋。
You've probably seen this video by now.
早上
I've seen Bing chilling. Well, Bing chilling. Voice access. Notifications. Guys. Why is my mouse? So this looks right. Right. I don't see anything wrong. But why is my mouse pink? This looks weird. And it's pink again and it looks weird. Ah, there's no colours. Time to use the computer. Wow, man. This looks so weird. I can't tell what's what anymore. This is great, guys. Please go. Guess what flag this is this summer? Guess what this is? This was kind of supposed to be a shirt to try and get me banned. This is Bob Ross. Yeah, it's so nice. To be honest, it's not the worst. Save. One belief is not saved. She has to save. With Captain Phil's Illuminati. Well, Bing chilling.
Apparently a camel can survive a 50-block fall. Sorry, man. I gotta do this. It's actually true. It somehow lived, but now can I survive the fall while riding a camel? Okay, this one isn't true. The camel did not absorb my fall. Can a camel prevent you from being hit by mobs? This one is true. They're not hitting me. But I'm curious if this also works on the warden. Okay, it actually doesn't look like he can hit me. Wow, the warden's getting a little close. Naming your seed Cherry Blossom spawns you in a Cherry Blossom biome. It's true, but it's the smallest Cherry Blossom biome I've ever seen. Are all sheep pink in a Cherry Blossom biome? This one isn't true, but let's just pretend it is. It looks a lot better this way. Can you undye leather armor using a cauldron? Wow, this one is actually true. And you can also dye wool that is already dyed. This one is true as well, and you can do it with every colorable item, just to be clear. Apparently you can swap your elytra out without opening your inventory. This one is true, but you better carry a water bucket with you just in case. Does a bamboo raft move faster than a regular boat? So this is me riding both of the boats. It doesn't look like the bamboo one is any faster. This is false. Can you clutch on a camel? You can clutch on a horse, so this should be possible. As long as I don't mess this up, of course. And yes, you can do it. This makes up for him killing me earlier. You can dye a camel's saddle. Nope, this one isn't true, but it would be cool if it was. Apparently, mobs can't jump over hanging signs. So I've placed a fence of hanging signs around me, and now let's see if all these zombies can get to me. Okay, they can. This one is definitely not true. If you place a hanging sign like this, apparently mobs can't follow you through it. And it's true. Who knew zombies were this stupid? The nether portal animation is fixed in 1.20. So this is what the animation used to look like, and now it's supposed to stop the animation from playing again when you go through. Yes, this one is true. Can a piglin head prevent you from being attacked by piglins? No, it can't. We've already seen this. They don't accept me. What about if you wear armor with a gold trim on it? Nope, it appears I still have a 5-star wanted level. What about if you wear gold armor with a trim on it? Okay, this one was obviously gonna work. They gotta respect a man with some drip. A piglin head flops its ears when it's powered by redstone. This one is true, and also kind of weird. Does this mean mobs are powered by redstone? Apparently a dragon dragon head can now open its mouth. This one is also true. I honestly have no idea if this one is new or not, though. I don't usually wear a dragon's head. There is a new Vex in Minecraft 1.20. So this is what an old Vex used to look like. Kind of scary if you ask me. And this is the new Vex. This one is true. It kind of looks like an evil Allay. Speaking of evil Allays, does the new Vex attack Allays? Okay, it doesn't really look like they attack each other. They're just chilling. Does a sniffer egg hatch faster on moss? So here's my egg on moss, and here's the regular egg. Now we just wait. And yeah, this one is true. The egg on moss hatched way faster. You can make a sniffer carpet. This is actually just from my build hacks video. It's not really a myth. No sniffers were harmed in the making of... No, actually they were. I'm not gonna lie. Can you ride a sniffer? So my right click says you can't, but this command says I can. But since you can't do it without cheats, I'm going to say it's false. You can heal camels with cactuses. I can't imagine this one is true because of what I'm seeing right now. Okay, never mind. He somehow eats that. That's true. You are able to sprint on camels. This one is true, but you might not notice it if you use toggle sprint since it just sprints by default. Can sniffers dig for seeds in the nether? He's sniffing the air. I wonder what he's got a hold of. Okay, just ignore that. I don't know how that got here. Yeah, this one is false. He isn't digging for anything. Apparently there is a new built-in resource pack. Yes, there is high contrast mode, but all it really does is edit the UI and nothing else changes. Jukeboxes can emit a redstone signal. Let's just pick out some quality music here. Yep, this one is true, and I may have also summoned Herobrine. If you punch a decorated pot, it won't break. Yes, this one is true. It just drops the pot instead of the shards. And speaking of shards, can you copy them like an armor template? No, this one unfortunately isn't true. You're gonna have to find these manually. Are you able to craft a plain pot using just bricks? Okay, it's a good thing I'm bricked up for this myth. Yes, this one is true. I now have a lot of plain pots. Apparently you can get the ward armor trim for killing the warden. Okay, this is taking way too long. I'm just using the command. No, he still drops the skulk thing, whatever it is. The new damage looks like bedrock. Yeah, this is true, unfortunately. I don't really like how this looks. Also, you can apparently change the amount of shake when you get hit. Okay, this one is also true, and this looks even weirder, honestly. It kind of looks like I'm in Spectator. Can you get apples from a cherry wood tree? Okay, so far this one isn't looking good. Yeah, I broke all the leaves on the tree and not a single apple. This one is false. Apparently, you can now edit signs. Okay, yeah, I already knew this one was true, and along with editing signs, you are also able to write on the back of them. And you can right-click them with a honeycomb, and it makes it so you can't edit them anymore. That one I actually didn't know. That's pretty interesting. Do chiseled bookshelves increase enchantment levels? Okay, so we have filled them all with books. Now let's see if it increases the levels. Nope, this one isn't true. Can you fill chiseled bookshelves using hoppers? Yes, you can do this, and apparently you can also put plants in pots using hoppers. Okay, I don't think it's true. There's a new cherry blossom villager variant. No, there isn't, which means there probably isn't a cherry blossom village either. But it would definitely be cool if they added one, because this biome is a little boring. Can you use silk touch to mine suspicious blocks? Okay, so we tried it on gravel and it didn't work, and it also doesn't work on sand. This is false. Apparently there is a new potion of luck in Minecraft. There actually is a potion of luck. When applied, +1 luck. I don't really know what that means, but hopefully it doesn't turn me into a leprechaun. Can you transport pets on a camel? So I don't really know how you would do this. I'm assuming my dog would just get on the camel, and it isn't. So this one is false. Are you able to swim on a camel? Okay, it's kind of working, but he's sinking slowly, and yeah, it kicked me off. I want to say this one is false, but it's also kind of true, because he can swim for a second, so I don't know. If you put a mob head above a note block, it will play a sound from that mob. Yeah, this one is true, and it works for every mob, including the skeleton. That was definitely real. Another thing you can apparently do is optimize your world. Yeah, this one is true, but I don't really know what it does. I think it's supposed to be for older worlds, because it didn't really seem to do anything. Can a sniffer survive a hit from the warden? Okay, so we have our sniffer and our warden. We just gotta wait for this guy to find him. He's kind of blind. Okay, the sniffer died in one hit. This one isn't true. But what about a camel? Can a camel survive a warden? We just gotta wait for this again. Oh, and it actually worked. A camel can survive one hit from the warden. Camels really are just built different. Does spawning a cow in a cherry blossom biome make it a mulip? No, it does not. Is there a secret room in the desert temple? Yes, there actually is in the back corner, and this is what it looks like. Are there new potions in Minecraft? So the potions aren't new, but all the colors are changed, and
This is the...
Apparently a cherry is the case. Is the easier to get which one you want. This isn't really a thing in survival though, so you're still stuck spam placing them if that's the case. Is the bundle in Minecraft 1.20? There is still no bundle in the creative inventory, but you can still give it to yourself with a command. I wonder when they will finally add this thing. Apparently hanging signs don't break when you break their supporting block. Yeah, this one is true. How is this even possible? This is definitely an illegal building technique. Apparently armor stands now have arms. Okay, so the logic behind this one is that it has arms and a smithing table. But no, the armor stand doesn't have arms. Does landing on a sniffer egg break it? No, either the sniffer egg is really strong or I'm not heavy enough. It's probably the first one. Can you ride a baby camel? No, you can't, unfortunately. But can you put chests on a camel? You also can't do this, but you'd think a mob this strong would be able to do that. Apparently, frogs follow you if you hold slime balls. Okay, so I don't think this one is 1.20 related, and I also can't even tell if it's true. Yeah, it's probably true. He seems to be following me. There is a new way to change your GUI scale. Apparently, if you hold control and scroll at the same time, it changes your GUI scale. Okay, so nothing is happening right now, but what if we try it in the options menu? Now it's working. Yeah, this one is true, but you're already in the options menu, so it's not really that cool.
This is Minecraft trailers versus Minecraft reality. The first thing the Minecraft trailers get wrong is, oddly enough, mining. And I'm not just talking about the fact that they're only taking one swing at a time per each block. Maybe they just have high efficiency, I don't know. But more specifically, as you see in the Caves and Cliffs trailer for the Part 2 update, the blocks that they're mining seem to save the progress even if they stop mining them. And unless you install a mod like this, it's not going to be in the real game. In the final shot of the Minecraft 1.20 trailer, when Steve's running into the cave, we see a few anomalies on the wall here. Unfortunately, without the use of mods, the spiders cannot climb horizontally. And that's not the only issue in this shot, since there's also something weird going on with our skeletons, which is that if we zoom in and look closely, sure enough, none of the skeletons walking towards Steve actually have any bows and arrows here, or any weapons. They're really more walking like zombies, which is made even weirder by the fact that earlier in the trailer, they show skeletons coming out of the sand dunes, and those skeletons have their bows and arrows, but they still got the spider climbing wrong, so some things never change. People often talk about how rare the blue axolotl is, but there actually was one even rarer. And the only place to find the green axolotl variant was in the Caves and Cliffs update for Part 1. Now, if you blink, you might miss it, but in fact, there it is. And this green variant was also shown off in early promotional images released for the game. And honestly, I don't know how hard it would have been to add in a green axolotl like this anyway. But it also doesn't look like we're ever going to learn the answer, since when Lady Agnes was asked this question on stream, this is what she had to say.
Yes, I'm not sure I can answer that right now, I'm sorry.
But hey, I guess a non-answer is better than no answer at all. At least I acknowledged it. There must have been some disagreement about how drip leaves work between the trailer team and the actual developers. Since when you watch drip leaves in the trailer, Alex is bouncing off of them, using them to spring from one to the other. But in-game, they're not springy, they're quite the opposite. They just droop and fall. But even with that disappointment, the lush caves that she's in still seem a lot better than what Steve's dealing with, so I guess it's not that much of a loss. But one of the biggest losses in translation is that we don't have splashes like this in the base game. Though through the help of a mod like this by Dr. Rat, there is a way to play with these in the game. And my personal favorite feature of this is that the size of the entity dictates how big the splash is going to be. So while items might only make a few small splashes like this, if you throw a larger mob into the water, it's going to be a lot more noticeable. And if anything, having this in the game would make fishing a lot more satisfying, since it hasn't been a lot of fun since 1.16 changed the treasure loot. In the trailer for the Wild update, you can see that the chicken's noticeably scared of the warden. I mean, who wouldn't be if it hits like this? But in reality, the chickens are never scared of any mobs in the game, even the ones that are hostile towards them. But that's not going to stop the warden from attacking it. If it gets too close and creates a sound, even if it isn't scared, the warden will give it a reason to be. And in fact, the only time they ever get scared in the game is if we happen to hit them and then they start running around frantically. Does that mean we're a bigger monster than the warden? Maybe that's fair. When Steve and Alex are crafting netherite to prepare to enter the nether, it's interesting you never actually see them with diamond versions of the items that they start with. But hey, at least the hammer on the smithing table is getting some use. That's more than any of the tools on the crafting table have ever been used for in the game. But who knows, maybe for a time when they were making this trailer, you didn't actually need diamonds to make netherite tools. Which, not needing diamonds is one thing, but I'm more jealous of the fact that they never needed to touch one of the netherite upgrade templates that we need in the new version. In the announcement trailer for the Minecraft live stream in 2022, you'll notice that in this example, there's multiple frogs that are able to ride in one minecart, which not only doesn't happen with any mob in the base game, but here we're also able to see the frogs. Since in reality, if you get a a frog inside of a minecart, the only way you're going to be able to see it is from above. They're just too small within the minecart's model. Oh, and also, they got a warden inside of a minecart too. Don't think I didn't miss that. If you take a look at goats in the Caves and Cliffs trailer, you might think that they're a hostile mob, but in reality, they're not nearly as aggressive. And in fact, one of the reasons they seem so docile in the game is that they'll only go after you if you're unmoving. And since players rarely stand still for very long, you really have to try hard to get hit by one of these. Oh, and they also only ram at you every 30 to 300 seconds, which even on the low end of that range means that you got plenty of time to be safe. This brief moment in a Minecraft trailer is still burned into some player's memory. And the reason for that is this bit of blue dust in the background. And with just those few frames, players went wild with theorizing. Maybe it was some blue alternative to redstone, or a new thing like cobalt. But more likely is that it could have been some unused form of the blue dye, since in this update there was a lot of changes made to the dyes that we had, and key among those is making lapis lazuli no longer used for blue dye, but rather you have to craft it into a separate item. And given the fact that it's the cleric throwing it out and they're used to using lapis, that seems more likely in my head. And also in the Village and Pillage trailer, you'll notice something interesting if you study the cat, which even though most of the mobs in the trailer tend to be animated pretty close to their Minecraft models, a big notable difference is that the cattails aren't rigid in the game, so you'll never see them move this way. Now I know, you also won't see the mobs dancing the way that they do in the trailer, but it's an interesting little visual discrepancy that they normally try to avoid in these things. Oh, and also, cats like to sit on chests, not barrels. Even if you were to download numbers of different shaders, it's almost impossible to recreate the kind of lighting system that we see in the trailer, which makes sense, it's pre-rendered. But even if you go through all the effort that low-res Bones shows off here, we can get the textures right, we can add on torches emitting light from hands, but all the little intricacies are never to be seen. And to me, the most disappointing to that is that we can't create shadows like Alex does with this dead bush. That would open up a ton of fun pranks. And this channel, that would be right up our alley. When Alex falls off her roller coaster into the lush cave, you'll notice that this behaves very differently from how minecarts fall in the base game. For one, both the cart and Alex seem to experience some form of proper projectile motion, whereas in actual Minecraft, entities tend to have immense amounts of drag through the air. And also, the minecart's falling while still angled from the rail, whereas what would actually happen is that it stays on the same axis and falls level. Now, if you look at any of the trailers for Minecraft, you'll notice that they don't match any of the textures that we see in the game, which luckily is not an issue that we can't solve, since by downloading this texture pack called Bare Bones, the makers of the pack have done an exquisite job of recreating every texture to look like how it does in the trailers. And while it still looks a bit more simplistic in-game than it ever does in a pre-rendered trailer, with the right shaders installed, you can really get this to look pretty close. And personally, my favorite is to pair this with something like the Fresh Animations pack as well. That'll make your game really feel more alive. Interestingly, this trailer feature used to not work, but now it's actually possible in new versions. Since when 1.14 was shown off, you wouldn't have a baby villager riding a pig. Now with the /ride command, we're not only able to make that happen, but we can have a whole number of mobs right on top of each other. And the results get pretty crazy. It's worth playing around with. Now, the whole point of the Village and Pillage trailer is that the villagers are dancing when they're getting raided, which obviously doesn't happen in the game, at least not with the villagers. Because more peculiar is that the pillagers are actually the one dancing when they finish a raid. And the piglins also have a chance of dancing when they finish a hoglin hunt, which begs the question, why were those added in, but when the villagers celebrate you as the hero of the village, the most they do is throw off a couple of fireworks. Seems like a missed opportunity to me. Frankly, this one's wrong on a technicality, since while it's true that amethyst clusters are able to glow when they're placed like this, the same can't be said for the amethyst blocks or items, and that makes little scenes like this in the trailer completely impossible in base game. Oh, and also Minecraft doesn't have colorful lighting, which is disappointing in more ways than one. In the announcement trailer for the Buzzy Bees update, you notice that when you peek inside the beehive, you can actually see the bees sleeping, which not only can you not peek inside of the beehive, but the bees also don't really sleep, and the only mobs that you're going to see do as much are villagers, bats, and foxes, which is a shame because I think having a particle effect like this with the little Z's floating up would be a really fun effect for when mobs are snoozing. As you can see, when a ghast shoots a fireball at Steve and Alex while they're in the nether, it doesn't just shoot the fireball, but it also recoils back from the action of shooting it, which in the actual game has never happened. And that just goes to show you Minecraft's lackluster representation of physics, since by having no recoil, this disobeys Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there should be an equal and opposite reaction. But obviously, ghasts have never been in the real world either. Maybe this is just how they work. In the trailer for 1.15, you can see an iron golem holding out a poppy to a villager, which will still happen, but the only thing is that the villagers never seem to care about it anymore. Because with all the buggy changes they're added in 1.14, one of those is that the villagers will never take the poppy when it's given to them. And apparently Mojang didn't get the memo that they broke this in the last update, since even after it stopped stopped working in 1.14, it made it into this trailer for 1.15. When the Allay was shown off in one of the Wild Update trailers, the Allay took Steve to a different location where glow berries were on the floor, which isn't true of Allays. Really, it's more like the behavior for dolphins. In that case, if you give the dolphin certain items, it'll help you find shipwrecks. But in reality, Allays only seek up items up to 32 blocks away from the player. So if the glow berries weren't already next to Steve, there's no hope of the Allay getting near them. The way portals work in the trailers is that you actually keep the momentum that you have entering the portal on the other side. When in reality, because we have to stay still to actually enter through the portal, all of the momentum we would have had just dies when we're waiting for that transition. And in fact, the trailer's representation seems to work more like the immersive portals mod, except here we actually can't see through them to the other side, which I get Mojang not putting that into the trailers. It would probably be too confusing. When Steve and Alex die in the Nether update trailer, notice that their stuff seems to vanish with them. But the answer here isn't as simple as using something like keep inventory. Since in that same trailer, when they come back to life with the respawn anchor, they're still missing all of their gear that they lost in the previous shot. And because they respawn, they're not on hardcore mode. I guess they're just playing on some rare difficulty that only exists within Mojang's rendering server. In the trailer for the Trails and Tales update, we see Steve diving into the water to find some of the new Tide armor trims. But when he dives down, he gets noticeably close to the pufferfish, enough for it to puff up, which if Minecraft's taught us anything, that also means that Steve would get poisoned. No amount of cool looking armor is going to change that. And with that, folks, YouTube thinks that you might like this video, so see if they're right and have a good one, alright? 23 ways to hide from your friends and enemies in Minecraft. With just a composter and a trapdoor, you have an easy way to hide yourself. But unfortunately, just like this, it's not the most effective. You can see yourself popping out of the sides. But nothing to worry about, because if you place blocks on the other sides of the composter like so, we're actually able to hide the player model from clipping out. It just might require some fine tweaking so that you actually get the right rotation. Oh, and while this seems hidden enough, if there's one last thing you should remember, it's that you need to hold sneak even while you're in this cramped spot. Otherwise, your name tag's gonna show up on top. I guess crawling isn't the same as sneaking. Go figure. Perhaps the most classic way of keeping yourself hidden is to dig yourself down into a 3-block pit and then put the topmost block back into place when you're down there. After that, you know the rest of the story. You hold down the sneak key and you're about as good as hidden. That is until your friend decides to just do 1 block's worth of mining and your secret's revealed. So maybe it's worth sticking to one of the other entries on this list if you're looking for something a little bit more permanent. Camouflage skins are nothing new to Minecraft, but while we're camouflaging might be a new touch, since the particular choice here to use a deep slate camouflage skin can work really well with how dark it gets in the lower levels. And then from there, hitting the sneak key will make you even more invisible. And now the big problem you're gonna have to worry about is making yourself look too invisible that your friends think it's safe enough to use a tunnel bore. In that case, you might be better off safe rather than hidden. Without a doubt, the most effective way of hiding yourself is with an invisibility potion. I mean, the name kind of gives that away. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't still avoid these dead giveaways, such as never holding an item in your hand while you're invisible, taking off all of your armor. And then, perhaps the biggest yet, is that you really gotta make sure that you're not moving around so much so that the particles are getting dispersed everywhere. If you're playing on a server with a bunch of PvPers, then without a doubt the people on Lifesteal know what to look for. So stay safe and stay hidden, even if you got this get out of jail free card. In this case, maybe you don't have to be the one that's hidden, but rather you're going into a hidden spot. And an effective way of entering that secret area is to use something like Chorus Fruit. That way, the only possibility of your friend trying to track you in is if they themselves have this rare to hold item. And while it will admittedly take a few attempts to make sure that you teleport exactly where you want to go, for the ability to stay especially hidden, I think that's a minor cost to shoulder. And besides, if you want to increase your chances of teleporting in just right, then you could always just clear up the interior of the base, and then you'll have more blocks to actually teleport to. By linking nether portals in a specific way, we're able to make it so that we can give one portal 2 destinations depending on where you stand on it. And this is going to become a lot more obvious if we use something like a tall nether portal. Because here we could have it that if we stand at the top of the portal with a secret place, then that'll be the only way we teleport to our secret base. But if you go through it normally, you go to the standard location of a nether fortress. Besides, whoever wants to teleport through the top half of the portal anyway. If you design it right, they'll just think that you made a tall nether portal for show, and your secret's safe from there. From where we're standing, this base doesn't look that hidden, but from the ground level, these shulker boxes that we use as a floor actually start to disappear. And the reason is that block entities like shulker boxes and chests stop rendering when you're 64 blocks away. So if you put some of these up near the top of the sky, they'll only render if someone gets within range. So unless they got an elytra, and they're flying pretty high up, might I add, they'll be none the wiser that you're hiding out here. And hey, with all those shulker boxes, you got built-in storage too, so there's worse blocks they could be stuck with. If you're looking to hide from friends and foes, then a pretty decent spot is going to the bottom of a lake or an ocean. But that does cause one issue. How do you not drown? Well, luckily, using something like a banner, we can give ourselves that air pocket to hang out underneath the ocean. And if you really wanted to be sneaky, you could take that composter and trapdoor from above ground and put them to even better use on top of the ocean floor. Granted, it's a little cramped in either example, but it's both safe and hidden. And as far as I'm concerned, that's what we're looking for. If we break 2 of the leaf blocks on this tree and then place a trapdoor like so, we can use that to crawl inside of the tree. And then, once we're inside of the tree's canopy, we can break that trapdoor and replace it with a leaf block. And then, partner with how busy the leaf texture is, especially if they're playing with low graphics settings, we can really disappear into this canopy. Or if you don't have a tree yet and still want to do this, then by placing a leaf block in a setup like this with a sapling underneath, you can bone meal the sapling, and as soon as it grows, you'll actually be hidden just where you want to be. And while birch is the easiest tree to pull this off with, you might want to try a few times to actually get a tall oak tree. They're rarer, but they're a lot easier to hide in. If you're trying to get out of dodge, then elytra and rockets can do that pretty well. But once you're up well past build limit, hiding from everyone else, how do you stay hidden and make sure that you don't just fall down to the earth? Well, if you took the time to brew up some slow falling potions down on the surface, then chugging a couple of those powdered through your elytra can slow your descent down to a crawl. And from there, we can leisurely enjoy our safety right up above the clouds. Just make sure to also get on breaking through on your elytra. Nothing's gonna ruin your disguise more than falling out of the sky and standing in front of your friend as a pile of items. I'll be honest, hiding a secret room behind a painting is old hat, and unfortunately, too many players know to check behind these things. But with just a few minor tweaks, we could still teach this old dog some new tricks. Like, for example, using things like trapdoors or slabs that you have to jump or maneuver your way in. Those can really impact the effectiveness of one of these designs. And that way, the only chance of someone getting through is if they know that it's there. And to be honest, if it's a secret, they shouldn't, so you should be fine. And if you want to get even more particular and a bit more cruel, you could set up another painting with a cactus behind it. That way, if they try to go through that one, they'll be deterred from trying to enter the other. Powdered snow isn't exactly a comfortable hiding spot. Well, the only thing that's keeping you from jumping face first into a pile of white powder is the law. No, it's 4 leather and a crafting table. Since, strangely enough, all it takes is a pair of leather boots to make yourself completely immune to freezing, even when you're completely submerged in powdered snow. And you'll see as much if we sneak behind this armor stand. And then if you keep holding sneak, no one will be any the wiser that you're down there. Trapdoors are a common decoration block, which, lucky for us, means that there's plenty of these tiny crawl spaces that we can get into. Like, take this house for example. By flipping open some of the spruce trapdoors and the pillars, we can tuck ourselves away from any passerby, even if it's their house. Or if they happen to use trapdoors in their floor design, then even better, you can hide under that too. And even if your friend doesn't have trapdoors in their base, it would look better if they did. So I'm sure if you added some of these in to help them decorate, they'd be appreciative and none the wiser that you're actually using it as a new hiding spot. You might not see the secret entrance, but that's kind of the point. Since if you were to go find yourself a spot inside of a snowy area, dig down into a pit, and then place scaffolding back up to the surface, then even when we cover our tracks with a snow layer on top, we'll still be able to memorize where we go and sneak right into the location. But that's the key part. You gotta remember where you're hiding, because otherwise it might look a little weird if you just keep crouching in a pile of random snow. And the last thing you want is to draw any suspicious eyeballs to your new base. It's best to log the coordinates if you really need to. The trick to this secret entrance is that there isn't an entrance, but rather by aiming an ender pearl throw just the right way, we're able to teleport ourselves through a 1 block thick surface. And as you can see from the example, if we aim the ender pearl just right to where the wall meets the ground, then we can reliably clip through the wall and get over to our base. And while the ender pearl might hurt you a little bit to get inside, it's a lot better than having to stay out in the open to your enemies, so I'd rather take this damage than leave myself susceptible to more on the outside. If you only need to hide yourself for a few minutes, then it's hard to beat a lava pool. Since with a fire resistance potion and some redstone, we can buy ourselves some valuable time to hang out at the bottom of a lava lake. And there, even if anyone notices that you're down there, it's not like you'll be easy to get to. But I will warn, obviously, that if you try this, you might want to have a stopwatch next to you, or at the very least another potion so that you can re-up it. After all, the brewing stand makes 3 of them, so you could use all of that to get yourself 24 minutes at the bottom of a lava lake. And at that point, if they're still waiting up there to catch you, they deserve to. They clearly have patience. The only way to get to my secret base is to die. And no, it's not heaven, but the truth is that this base is only accessible through a respawn. That way, after stashing your stuff inside of an ender chest, we take care of ourselves, and through the help of a bed, respawn where we want to be. But then the question is, if you have to die to get in, how do you get out? Well, through the help of an ender pearl stasis chamber, we could set up an ender pearl just like this, and then when it's time to escape, press the button, and then reset up the system so that we can use it to get back out. And this might just be one of the most effective ways to hide yourself, because even if your friend knows how to get in, chances are they don't have their spawn set to your bed. So even if they off themselves to reach the other side, you can rest assured that that'll be on the other side of your base's walls. If you're trying to hide from your friends, then a silly way to do it might just be getting yourself a carved pumpkin. Now, not to say that your friends are endermen, but what you might see is that if we actually put on one of these and then crouch next to a pumpkin patch, without our name tag, we do tend to blend in with the other textures. Is it stupid? Of course, but if it works situationally, that's good enough for me. Because remember, it only has to work once for it to be worth it. And if everything goes wrong and they still catch you, you could always craft up yourself an iron golem. Lord knows you'll have the pumpkin. Sometimes the best way to hide from your friends is to hide in plain sight. And while a camouflage skin can do that, there's a way for us to camouflage in-game. And through the help of some very specific dyed leather armor and a mob head, we can sneak into a crowd of zombies and blend in quite perfectly. Besides, if your friend's trying to chase after you, the odds are they don't want to deal with zombies that they don't have to anyway. So if you get in with a crowd of them, you'll be safe. And better still is that by wearing a zombie head and having that potion of invisibility, even the zombies aren't going to attack you. So as far as they're concerned, you blend in with them too. If your friend's got another portal like this, then you're in luck, since all those extra decorations are going to offer us the perfect hiding space. And all we need to do to use this facade is to go through the nether portal and then come back, since when we return to the overworld, we're not just going to be teleported back to the other dimension. Granted, we are going to have this annoying warbly effect when we come back, but if you turn off distortion effects in the accessibility tab, then you do have the option to be just fine here. And as long as you don't leave the nether portal again, it won't be able to teleport you back. So if you want to trick them into thinking that you went to the nether, but leave them no clue as to where you went, I think this does the trick, and then some. Unlike in real life, in Minecraft, you're not safe under the covers. You're quite literally out in the open. But by opening up this trapdoor underneath my bed, that'll give us access to the secret minecart underneath. And then by having that minecart placed on top of an activator rail, we have a quick and easy way to get in and out of our secret base. And this works particularly well, especially because if you have a bed up top, it already looks like you have a base. And I doubt very many people are going to be checking underneath your beds for any kind of monsters. And then when you're ready to leave, use the same minecart and it'll shoot us right up top. In order to get to our secret base, you might want to turn on chunk borders, because when you're flying over the end void, it can be tough to tell which way you're flying, whether that's up or down. And you definitely don't want it to be down. But once we follow this lodestone compass, that'll take us right to our secret base, out in basically the middle of nowhere, because very rarely do people check between the main island and the outer islands of the end. Really, if you don't get there with a gateway or a portal, most people don't explore that part of the end, which means that if you have the time to set it up, this could be the perfect location for your hideout. Just make sure that you fully stock that hideout with plenty of rockets to get back with your elytra. Otherwise, you might be stuck in secrecy for quite a while, unless you want to take the short way out. This isn't an armor stand, or rather, it's me. Because by putting on the same set of armor and then drinking an invisibility potion, we can do something of a mannequin prank and hide in plain sight. And while this will definitely fool someone at a glance, a key thing to note is that interestingly, the player's shorter than the armor stand, even if you equip with the same armor. So I definitely wouldn't want to hide next to other armor stands when you do this. Those static statues could be a dead giveaway. And if you're worried about the potion particles that are coming off of your body, then I mentioned that it helps to do one of these next to an area with beacon beams. Since then, the players are already used to potion particles coming off of themselves, it's not going to strike them as abnormal. And with that, folks, YouTube thinks that you might like this video, so see if they're right and have a good one, alright? This chair is made using no mods, and this moving platform is possible in vanilla Minecraft. And today we're going to look at the wild things 100% possible without using any mods. I'd like to introduce you all to my new pet berries. And yeah, you heard me right, I have berries as a pet. Or at least it looks like that. See, this user found out that by catching a fox and making it invisible, all that's left showing are the bushel of sweet berries in its mouth. And for that matter, I'm sure you could use this to lead around just about any of the other items that a fox can carry in its mouth. But regardless of what you use, you'll want to keep this pet away from your chicken coop, or else. Now, how do you think these carpets are floating? I'll give you a hint, it's not string, but instead, this user found out that you can use glow lichen to do the trick. And with their design, we can shed some light on the build and maintain its style without using ugly support blocks. And hey, this might just offer an extra bit of subtle spawn proofing as well. So whether you stop at the patio umbrella or use this for another kind of magic carpet contraption, it's well worth a shot. We've all seen flying machines, but what about flying platforms? Well, as crazy as it looks, it's actually all capable through specific commands. And better yet, we can even deactivate and reactivate the platform upon command, making room for some new ideas such as a target range trick of the move, which would be quite the challenge for your next Minecraft parkour map. So if you've got the time to set up the command blocks, at least this is all possible without downloading Mod Loader. Let me introduce you to the water lotus. Now, unlike the lily pads that we're used to, this fan-made flower is a lot more vibrant for the swamps that we've got. And if you're looking to have one of your own, start by placing a warp trap door below a lily pad. And then with that base, you can now place an item frame with a honeycomb block inside of it. And after that, be sure to have topped it off with a brain coral fan, and you'll have definitely achieved the desired look. Do not open this barrel, because even if it seems innocent, it's rigged to blow up with a bunch of TNT minecarts like so. And with an observer underneath the block of your choice, we can make any seemingly safe block into a death trap, and then cover it up and watch from a safe distance as your unsuspecting friend interacts with a live explosive. Just don't leave them too traumatized, because they might just end up returning the favor. While Mojang waits until the 1.19 Wild update to add in their chest boats, the community has a way to make one of our own right now. As Mysticat found, we can use the summon command to place a chest minecart into the back seat of your boat, and sure enough, we can place our stuff in it just the same, which, I'll be honest, is a lot better than just looking at yet another pack mule as a passenger. Instead of moving your stuff with hoppers, we're using conveyor belts instead, since with a system of pistons and honey blocks, you can move uncollected items on the floor from one place to another, just as a modded conveyor belt would. And if you want to get really creative, throw on some raw fish and have a brand new sushi bar to impress your friends. This item does not exist in Minecraft. So, how is it here in vanilla? Well, by utilizing invisible item frames and a transparent map art, you can decorate your house and get an amazing effect. Though, to get that transparent map art, you are going to need to head out to the void and make your pixel art there, since that's the only way that we're going to be able to get no background on the PNG. And that'll allow us to make anything from plates on the dinner table, or even signs to scare off our enemies. We can't normally place carpets on slabs, but this seems to do the trick. And the answer here is beds, but not like this, since by using the command bar, you can spawn in a lower half of a bed like so. And although that new bed is a little glossy looking, you'll see that any differences are virtually unnoticeable from afar. And with some slabs nearby to hide the wooden legs of the bed, it'll look even more convincing. Lettuce is one of the lesser known crops in Minecraft, probably because it doesn't exist. But maybe with these creeper heads in your garden, you might be convinced it does. From the right angle, these creeper heads give off the illusion that you have fresh lettuce growing in your yard, which should be enough to convince your friends from first glance. And while that face out the back might be a dead giveaway, from the right position, this should do the trick from far away. Here's why you need to start bringing moss down into the mines. See, when placed next to stone and then given bone meal, the moss replaces all the surrounding blocks except for any precious ores such as diamond and iron. And that'll mean no more wasting your fortune pickaxe on the branch mining chores, since instead, the hoe can clean up just fine. And really, I'd much rather waste a stone hoe than my diamond pickaxe trying to find these things. And if we're spending less to make more, then I'm all in. Waterfalls used to look like this, but now they look like this. And the reason for that makeover is the particle effects command. See, this user was creative enough to use a command block to create exploding particles to resemble crashing water. And while the gray in the clouds might not be as convincing up close, for a vanilla alternative to Dr. Rat's mod, I'd say this is worth paying attention to if you make creative maps. A gas turret certainly has a nice ring to it, and as you can see from this user's design, it's a lot of fun too. Now, in order to create this homemade design, you're going to need to bring a ghast into the overworld. Then, after you trap that new ghast, we can flip a lever to move a piece of its trap wall up and down like so, and that'll let us choose how and when the ghast shoots a fireball. From there, we just need a mash click to punch it in the right direction, and we'll have ourselves an open invitation to wreak havoc on your friends. Placing blocks on slabs sounds like a pipe dream, so why does this work? Well, if you use the summon command to get yourself a falling block, you can make sure it lands right where you want it to be. And then, after typing the command to summon it into place, you'll have a permanent addition to your slab or stair shelf, which beats the alternative of it floating, just saying. Now, this wolf's tail is spinning, but why? Well, to answer that, we first need to know that a tamed wolf's tail is linked to its health. So the lower its health, the lower the tail. And conversely, if we use commands to make it have a higher health, yeah, the tail starts spinning. So if you were to use the effect commands to give the dog both health boost and regeneration, we could watch its tail spin in real time. Just don't get dizzy when you try to watch it. Stop building your minecart tracks like this, because instead, we should be building them like this. Now, I know, conventional wisdom says a straight line is the fastest way from point A to point B. But much like a Brachistochrone, these curves let us build up some serious speed. I mean, this method can go faster than fully powered rails. That's just insane. And while it might take a minute to figure out how to build this whole mess, after seeing this kind of speed, it's definitely worth the trouble. Have you ever used a tractor to farm sugarcane? Well, here's your chance. See, by using this user's model, we get something like the Create mod in our vanilla world. And by combining a network of pistons and hopper minecarts with honey blocks like so, this flying contraption can harvest and collect all of the sugarcane that it flies through. And better yet, we can even ride it if we hop in the minecart like so. Just make sure you have this return system on the other end. Otherwise, we'll fly off well past your sugarcane. According to Mojang, we're never going to see chairs in the base game, but this seems to do the trick. And the secret here is an invisible llama. See, given the L-like shape of the llama's neck and body, we can make a pretty convincing armchair to match them up. And if you're worried about the glitchy llama coming out of the side of the chair, it's nothing an invisibility potion and some banners can't fix. So if you're trying to gather the knights at your round table, this is a lot more convincing than crouching on a stair. Minecraft doesn't have guns, and thankfully so, might I add. But with this contraption, you can sure make it look like it does. After making an empty square in the base of the blocks, this. All we need to do is trap a zombie or husk in a minecart, name a dinner bone, and they'll be stuck with their legs in the air, which if we use pistons to push blocks to top it all off, we'll have earned ourselves a self-seeking turret design. And hey, if you were to use an Enderman, those long legs that it has would be sure to look like some kind of anti-aircraft defense system, and that should be plenty intimidating to any visitors. If you were to fall on this carpet, you wouldn't take any fall damage, but this one over here would break your legs just the same. So, what's the difference? Well, by using powdered snow, you can fall from a great height and take no damage when you land, and that even happens when you have a carpet on top, meaning we can make whatever kind of pixel art design we want, and feel free to look at it while we're falling down. After all, it's not going to hurt when we land. Why are these armor stands fighting? Well, when you have these statues roll over a detector rail, we can animate them like so, which means that we can use our very own armor stands to recreate something of a sword fight. And then, if you have the rails aligned in a row like so, we can throw them into minecarts and have the show commence, which, if you ask me, could really help to liven up your next Coliseum build. Just don't expect their fight to end anytime soon, much like our fight against Fortnite. If you haven't heard, we're at war with Fortnite to prove that the Minecraft community is the strongest there is. And that's why over 200,000 Minecraft fans have subscribed in the last 30 days. We're just that powerful. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so we can finally pass the official Fortnite channel and become the strongest game on YouTube. Did you know that you could do this with bubble streams? Because apparently, if you throw eggs directly at the water, those projectiles will ricochet and bounce along the bubbles. And functionally, this is a lot like an Ender Pearl stasis chamber, but we're just using a lot more momentum when we throw it out. Which means if you make a couple of baskets, you might be able to set this up for your very own basketball game. And hey, since it works with other entities, with the right amount of force, this could be the wild addition for your next TNT cannon. With this one-way glass, we can see in, and the criminals can't see out. Let me explain. Without using any mods, all we need are some tinted glass blocks to help us get the effect. And if you place a wall of tinted glass on a build like so, all we need to do is make sure that one side has enough light and the other one is completely dark. That way, when you stand on one side of the glass, you're only going to see that darkness, while on the other, you can see perfectly through as planned. And with that, folks, have a good one. Alright?
So we're gonna start off with these for now. So we get some.
This is every overpowered thing you can do in Minecraft. With just a lever and some redstone dust, we're able to lag the game so much that we can basically freeze time. Since with the way that Mojang's coded redstone dust, it gets pretty laggy when you connect a bunch of these up to a lever. And then by using something like the fast right-click feature in a mod like Tweakaroo, we can flip that same lever on and off until eventually the redstone's updating so much that we basically slow time down to a crawl. And then that's where the fun begins, since one of the easiest tricks to pull off with this is to break bedrock. Or if you wanted to, you could use this to freeze time on a multiplayer server, build an entire structure, and then, when time switches back to normal, your friend will have no idea where that came from. But let me warn that in that case, you don't want to span the lever for too long, since doing it for longer than 60 seconds might just trigger Minecraft's watchdog to terminate the server. But as long as you freeze time in smaller increments, they'll be none the wiser. While other people debate whether a sword or an axe is better in PvP, you'll know that this is the real answer, since in all actuality, using end crystals for PvP can do so much more damage. On harder difficulties, this can deal 145 hit points in a single blow. And while it's expensive, you can set up this whole process with just 3 clicks. One for the obsidian, another for the crystal, and then lastly by punching it. And as long as you have some form of block in between your feet and the explosion, you yourself are going to take minimal damage, if at all. And unlike using beds in the nether, this is an option that we can choose in any of the dimensions that we want. This is going to level the playing field and level them into a pile of ashes. Alright, pop quiz. What do you do after accidentally hitting a zombie piglin? Well, the solution's simpler than you might think, since all we gotta do is take after this user on Reddit and dig out 2 blocks into the ground and then build 2 blocks up so that we're standing safe. And from there, if we hold crouch and move back over the hole, then at that point, all of the zombie piglins are just gonna run into that confined space. And once we got them crammed in there like sardines, all we have to do is drop 2 pieces of gravel on top of them and they'll all suffocate down there in the pit, making this the simplest way to get off their bad side. Though keep in mind that if you do this, you might run the risk of them spawning zombies as reinforcements. But as long as you're stayed up on their tower, you'll be able to easily dispatch them too, proving that this mistake was as easy to solve as it was to make. If you see this coming towards your base, be very afraid, since as it was designed by generic redstone genius, this cute little flying machine ends up being a devastating nuke. Since when there's virtually no limit to how many TNT minecarts you can put on top of a regular rail, we guarantee that when this flying machine hits its target, it's gonna have enough firepower to make even the worst nukes cry. So whether you're using this to get rid of a mountain or your friend's base, case, for how small of a footprint it is, this might be the easiest way to achieve world domination in your next world. With this setup, you'll never have to eat again, since the truth is, by just having regeneration on your beacon, starvation's no longer a worry for you, since the fact of the matter is that you'll actually out-heal the starvation damage. Now granted, you won't be able to sprint, but if you want to AFK at a farm without ever having to worry about starving to death, then just setting up a simple beacon like this could really be all you need. And that way we can turn even the deadliest of Minecraft game modes into essentially peaceful mode. And when you build up that regeneration beacon, consider grabbing 3 more, since by building your beacons overlapping with one another, we can ensure that each additional beacon that we add on only costs a fraction of the resource blocks for the pyramid. And if you want further proof, just look at the numbers. An individual 4 beacon setup would cost 656 iron blocks. But if we stack it together like this where they're overlapping, then it goes down to 216 of the same blocks. So while it's obviously expensive to get the beacons in the first place, let's at least make sure that we're taking the simple costs where we can. And that'll be a lot less stress on your iron farm, trust me. If you're planning to build with copper, you need to have this farm. Since with this design by ENXO4, we're able to make an extremely simple footprint for what's going to be a very profitable farm. And the whole way that this works hinges around these zombie reinforcements. Since under certain conditions, zombies are able to spawn other zombies to help them out in a fight. And what's better yet, these zombie reinforcements ignore the mob cap. Meaning just like that, we're able to pile hundreds and hundreds of zombies into our farm. And at that point, as long as you have a looting 3 and mending sword, we can use an auto clicker to stay at this farm for hours. And at that point, the only question is going to be, how do you store all that copper? Let's say you start in a new world and you need an XP farm. Well, we're going to hop over to the Nether. And not for blazes or anything like that, but rather to farm nether quartz. Since by just breaking one of these nether quartz ore, you're about guaranteed 3.5 experience points on average. Meaning that if you just broke nether quartz ore alone, it would only take breaking 400 of these to get you from level 0 to 30. And with how prevalent and dense these veins can be, that's going to be pretty easy to get. And plus, nether quartz has other uses too. I see this as a win-win. Here's how we're going to turn this librarian villager into an infinite emerald farm. Since after repeatedly zombifying and curing that villager, we're able to get it so that we can buy 1 bookshelf for 1 emerald. And then we can take that newfound bookshelf, break it on the ground, and that'll give us 3 books that we can sell back to it for 1 emerald apiece. And at that point, we're basically tripling our money every time we talk to the villager. And while that might seem like we're manipulating it, it's clearly got plenty of emeralds for itself, so maybe it's fine with sharing the wealth. In recent updates, iron farms have never been easier to build. Since in the past we might have had to spend all the time to place down these doors in a specific way, now an entire iron farm could be kept to this small design. And as RaiseWorks shows off, we can build this iron farm design in 5 minutes, which that little of a time investment is able to get us 300 to 400 ingots per hour. So unless you start building with iron blocks, there's hardly even a need to go past this rate. It's really a no-brainer to have one of these in your world. If you've got access to the top of the nether roof, then you got yourself a food farm. Since for only 30 minutes of your time, you could build this extremely simple hoglin farm. And that way we're getting ourselves both cooked pork chops and leather too. And probably the best part about this is that it requires no complicated redstone or anything like that. Literally all we're doing is just scaring away the hoglins with warped fungus. And then by setting the light level of the farm so that only the hoglins can spawn, we're ensuring that when we go up top here, we'll have enough food to supply multiple players on the server with literal food for years. By following this user's lead, all we need is a pair of leather boots and some powdered snow to get ourselves up and away and leave no trace behind. Since with just 2 powdered snow buckets, we're able to pillar ourselves up and then bridge across infinitely. And while it could take some time to learn the technique to do this, as soon as you get that down, you can get this going about as fast as you can pillar up anyway. So if you're trying to escape from someone in a PvP situation, at least this way you're not leaving behind a tall tower as evidence to where you went. It might not look it, but this redstone is entirely wireless. And you'll see as much when we flip this lever. This design by 2No2Name has an infinite range, just as long as you're in the same dimension. The way this works is based off an obscure item mechanic where the game will store a unique entity ID, and then the delay it takes for that hopper to pick up the item could differ depending on that ID. And so when our receiver checks for that specifically timed entity creation, that'll sync up with our transmitter and allow us to have virtually infinite range on our redstone. But keep in mind, this isn't super reliable in single player. It's mostly intended for server use. But when you got it there, it essentially gives us 5G to use in our world. And that just blows my mind. Let's be honest, some Minecraft worlds are better than others. And that means that if you were to use a seed like the one on screen, you'll find that from the get-go, you're instantly better off than other people. Because by just simply spawning next to a mushroom island, you're essentially playing on peaceful mode, regardless of how bad things get. Since the only mobs that are able to spawn down here in the dark are bats. And that way, you're able to go caving around your base without any worries. And you can also do it without lighting up the area. So as long as you don't run into any monster spawners nearby, this will turn your hardcore world into the easiest that it can be. And as soon as you figure out how to get get wood when you're on this island, that's all your problems solved. With this glitch, you can sprint forever without losing a single hunger bar. And the way it happens is that if you simply punch an enemy while you're sprinting, and then continue to sprint afterwards, that'll negate all of the sprint's hunger drain. And as user ElliotX shows off, this could be a game changer for speedrunning, especially because it's allowed in runs. But keep in mind that you will still lose hunger when you're jumping during this. And the way it all works is that the game thinks that when you punch, that you'd stop sprinting. So in that case, the server sees you as walking, but the client still believes that it's sprinting. And then that desyncs enough for us to manipulate and get all of this extra speed without ever having to do it on an empty stomach. If you're playing on peaceful mode, keep this one in mind, since the truth is that you're going overkill if you're putting Respiration 3 on your helmet, since in this difficulty, putting any level of respiration on your helmet will mean that you cannot drown. And the reason for this is that the peaceful mode regeneration rate is enough to actually keep up with the drowning damage that you take when you have respiration, so don't waste your levels trying to go overkill on this. If you're going to go explore in the ancient cities, remember to bring yourself a hoe, since with this tool in particular, you'll be able to instant mine through all of the skulk blocks, which not only gives you a quick way to gain levels, but you're also likely to uncover large amounts of diamond ore. Since the way that diamonds are coded, they're more likely to spawn when they're covered by other blocks. And considering skulk counts for that, we're essentially just peeling off a blanket and waking up some sleeping diamonds. And by the point that you find them, you'll have plenty of levels left to enchant them, making this one of the most profitable ways to equip yourself. But you might be wondering how you even explore ancient cities without having to worry about you-know-who. Well, Illumango's got you covered. Since with this machine, if we just shoot 6 arrows onto the wool block at the bottom of the arrow chamber, then we can close it back up and flip this on and off switch on the hopper clock, which all comes together to mean that we're completely disabling warden spawning. So even though you might hear warden sounds coming from this machine, the actual truth is those are the sounds of failed warden spawn attempts, since when you look around, you're not going to see any. And not only will this work in the ancient city that you built it within, but because of the built-in chunk loading, we guarantee that this works in any ancient city that you step into in the world, just as long as you're the player that shot the arrows into the machine. And at that point, we can use our hoe to get rid of all the skulk shriekers, so that even when this machine isn't working, we're still not going to have to worry about the warden. Forget smelting your items in a furnace, instead you want to build this. Since you're just 9 hoppers and a chest boat, we're able to make the poor man's super smelter. And we did it all without redstone, since any items that we put into the chest boat will get evenly dispersed amongst our furnaces, and that'll give us a 9 times return on a regular furnace. And hey, if you want it even better, I'd recommend switching these out for blast furnaces, and then you've got an 18 times return on that regular furnace. Which is great to have that much cooking power, but now the question is, how are you going to fuel it? And that's where carpets come in. Since as you've seen this design by Eagle Eye, all it takes is having a couple of sticky pistons and coral fans to get ourselves infinite amounts of carpet, which is not only nice for decorating, but more importantly, we can also use these carpets as a way of fuel. And with the farm designed as this, that's 3.4 million carpet that we're getting to cook in our furnaces. At that point, I don't care how fast of a super smelter you have, it's not going to be able to go through all that fuel. Don't underestimate tipped arrows, since by just hitting yourself with one of these slow falling arrows, that'll give you just the right amount of slow falling effect that when we partner with a Riptide 3 Trident, we can use this to launch ourselves sky high. And the reason we use an arrow instead of a potion is so that when we reach the top of our ascent, we aren't still going to have the slow falling effect, because using slow falling with an elytra is just sad. And especially with how easy it is to get tipped arrows in Bedrock Edition, I think there's more than enough of a reason to try this out in your world. Forget using obsidian for your blast chambers, because ever since 1.19, waterlogged leaves can work just as well. For one, it's going to take a lot less time to mine all the blocks necessary to do this, and then when you get all those blocks, it's not even going to be a cut to your function. They'll work just as well for your concrete converter. And at that point, unless you need obsidian for another portal or enchantment table, I really don't think it's worth grabbing when you got this. TNT duplication machines are great, but getting slime blocks and coral early on is a real tough business. So instead, we can take after this user's design and make an easy early game cobble farm. Since by supplementing our build with a lot more observers, we're able to glitch out the TNT just the same and essentially duplicate it for all our uses. And then with enough cobblestone generators packed into the inside of the blast chamber, this is a fully automatic way to get loads of cobblestone, which will be handy because as soon as you do get a silk touch pick, you're really not going to get a lot more cobblestone from that point. So better to stock up while you can. If you're mining blocks like this, you gotta stop. Since the truth of the matter is that in Bedrock Edition, if you stand back at max reach distance and mine, you'll actually be mining faster than you do when you're right up close. So if you're going branch mining in Minecraft, you'll just want to take a couple steps back, at least until this bug gets patched. But with how long it's been on the bug tracker, I don't imagine that's going to be soon. Here's how to make your spyglass even better. Since the way that the spyglass this works, it actually modifies your existing FOV. So while we could use our regular FOV and have it zoom in this much, if we lower that FOV to the bottom at 30, then you'll notice when we use the spyglass, it zooms in even closer. And then if you've got an additional zoom mod on top of that, you can really use this trick to get up close and personal, and then immediately switch off the lower FOV, because playing the rest of the game this way is miserable. And with that, folks, YouTube thinks that you might like this video, so see if they're right and have a good one, alright? Here's how to make your chest blast-proof. And here's how to turn literal dirt into emeralds. And these are 67 surprisingly helpful things in Minecraft. And hey, as you can see from this number, we're almost at 6 million subscribers. So if you see the button down there, consider subscribing. It's free, and it helps out a ton. You see, when you waterlog something, it keeps the properties of a water source block, meaning that just by pouring a water bucket on your chest, that sucker isn't going to explode anytime soon. I see that as a small price to pay for indestructible chests. This is a lot easier to clean up. Before you visit the deep dark, you probably want to brew up a slow falling potion. As Simply Stark points out, chugging one of these can help us get around the Skulk Shriekers and sensors without setting them off. I mean, you could fall from any height and land on a block next to it, and as long as you're not moving side to side, you will not set off any of the sensors, making this indispensable to have. Oh, or give slow falling to the mobs that you're trying to pull on a lead, and that way you can fly around with them on an elytra without having to worry about them dying of fall damage when you reach your destination. The chest boat might be the most useful introduction in the 1.19 update, and maybe not for the reason that you think so, because while this could help you early game to transport items across an ocean, where it's really the most useful is for its insanely large hitbox. Like, check out this contraption, where if we place the chest boat right in the center of these 9 hoppers, we can make an insanely fast loading and unloading system for our items, and that'll create maybe the most efficient furnace array that we've seen so far. Shears aren't just used for cutting down your vines, but they can also help you trim them. In recent updates, if you right-click on a cave vine, kelp, or weeping vines like so, that'll set the edge to a max age of 25, which prevents them from growing any more past that point. And folks, this is a huge help for when you want to preserve the look of your build and keep those plants from growing any further than the decoration. By this point, we've talked about making a bubble elevator using kelp, which is helpful, but it requires a couple of different items. So instead, let's get the job done simpler by just carrying around ice. With this, all we have to do is pillar up ice above a soul sand block, and then mine it with a non-silk touch pickaxe on the way back down. Then when we reach the bottom, all of them will be water source blocks, and we can fly right back up to the top, keeping our elevators fast and helping us build them about as quickly. When you spend hours in a Minecraft world, it can be easy to forget what you're doing. And that's why doing something as simple as leaving a sign around the world can give you a reminder of what to do. Like this one here tells me that I need to finish this video, so I should probably do that. But jokes aside, if you were to do something like log off while you're looking at one of these reminders, then as soon as you come back into your world, you'll be able to jump right off of where you left last time. And then when you finish the to-do or the reminder, you can use dye or a glow ink sac to even make it a different color, which is a little bit more satisfying than just breaking the sign outright. And it gives you a way to look back at all the progress that you've made, which is another nice touch. Now, if you've been playing Minecraft for a while, a hoe doesn't seem that useful, but they've actually made quite the comeback. And personally, I always craft one of these whenever I enter into a village. Since with just a stone hoe, you can break down hay bales insanely fast. Or combine this with bone meal and moss, and you can instantly mine different blocks down in the caves. Oh, and if you're going down to an ancient city without a hoe in your inventory, you're doing it wrong, since this is the default item used to break down catalysts, shriekers, and skulk sensors. And in many cases, you can even break down these blocks without using high efficiency or haste too. So if you're looking for the cheapest way to instant mine down in the caves, why not use 2 stone and some sticks instead of your most expensive pickaxe? Here's how I increased my hotbar space tenfold, and I did it all in vanilla, since a lesser known feature is the ability to use preset hotbars in creative mode. And to do this, all you need to do is save a hotbar by using the C key and then a number on your keyboard that you want to save the preset to. And then you can load it by pressing X and then the number that you want to use, which by itself is pretty handy for when you're doing map building, but what I find even more useful is saving different shulker boxes in those inventories, since once you load it, the NBT data is still saved, meaning you could have shulker boxes full of custom heads ready to load at a moment's notice, and you'll save yourself a lot of time not having to type out that command. Trust me. If you don't have a water bucket, or you're in the nether and want to try something new, weaving vines are the best answer. See, with these, we can hang one off of the roof and then bone meal it to reach the bottom. And that not only gives us a way to reach the base of the cave safely, but it also offers easy access back to the top. And that kind of dual purpose can be a real lifesaver. Instead of using 6 planks to craft a shield, why not use 5 and craft yourself a bow? Now, as crazy as it seems, a bow can actually be very useful for defense. Like in this situation, where if we were to fight the Enderman by ourselves, we probably wouldn't fare too well. But if we place it in a boat beforehand, then as soon as we start attacking it, it won't even teleport away, and it can't hit us. I mean, the boat is so strong that if you were to put an exploding creeper in your backseat and row the boat, you'll barely take any damage when it explodes. And as much as I love shields, you can't exactly say the same for them. So if you're already crafting one of these to get across the 7 seas, it's worth keeping in your hotbar to get you out of a sticky situation. Here's why you shouldn't carry around an ender chest, but instead, you should carry around ender chests, because as you'll see, having multiple of these is going to make up for the extra cost. Since when you just carry around one, it can be easy to place it down and forget it somewhere. So then when you need it the most, you don't exactly have it on hand. And that's why I personally like to play with multiple ender chests carried around in my inventory. That way, if I just finish up setting up a new build and I want to have one there, I don't have to worry about crafting an extra. Instead, I can just place down one of the multiple that I carry. I mean, the item stacks up to 64 for a reason, so why would you ever settle for one when you could have another 63 on hand? Here's one setting that you'll want to turn off, because if you go into your visual settings and turn off the biome blend slider, this will allow you to easily see the biome borders between the difference in grass and water color, which is pretty handy when you're looking to build things within a specific biome, like a squid or a drowned farm for instance. And honestly, it's a much quicker alternative than using the F3 debug screen. And since that debug screen doesn't even exist in all versions, I think you'll find that this is a lot more user-friendly. Honey blocks are great for redstone traps, and traps without redstone. Let me explain. With the honey block's unique properties, if any mob stands on top of it, they can't easily jump over, which means that if we were to put a mob or a villager inside of a composter or a cauldron with a honey block underneath, they're not able to jump out. And just like that, we found the sticky situation that'll keep your villagers inside of the trading hall. And to go one step further, add an extra ring of honey blocks around them, and then any baby zombies can't jump in to try to kill the mob as well. That way, we make sure we keep the mob safe and sound, all while they stay put. Unlike what Bob Ross told you, your mistakes aren't always going to be happy accidents. And believe me, nothing makes a mistake worse than having to waste even more time trying to fix it. So, to get the blemish off your plate in a faster manner, why don't we just use the water for cleanup? Normally, these things are like oil. They don't mix well with water. But for our purposes, we can use that to our advantage. That way, you get the resources back faster, and you'll be able to start at square one once again without even skipping a beat. If you're going to make a big build, you're going to want to get a lot of wool. Because while a lot of builders might skip this step, it could be remarkably useful to have a color-coded layout of the pattern that you're about to build off of. And that way, you can easily account for where a build will be placed and how it's spaced from other builds without having to invest all the materials to find out. Because trust me, the only thing that sucks more than finding out you build these houses too close to each other is the realization that now you're going to have to tear it down and rebuild it all again to start from scratch. So save you and your tools the hassle and just do it out of wool next time. This trick will help you find buried treasure every single time, because instead of trying to guess where the X means on the map, if you instead line yourself up and then use the F3 debug screen to move to where the chunk info line has a 9 in the first and third spots, then if you dig straight down, you'll be right on top of the chest, which is particularly useful if the chest happens to spawn out in the water next to the shoreline, because digging around aimlessly is already a time waster. We don't need to make that any worse by having to dig slower underwater. Deep slate is a tough block to get a lot of, since even with a haste 2 efficiency 5 pickaxe, you still can't instant mine it. But as this user points out, if we get ourselves a wither to do the job, then it actually becomes much easier. As you'll notice, the wither breaks the blocks around its head every time that it takes damage. So if you trap one of these in a tunnel contraption like so, then every time that we punch it, we're going to get ourselves some more deep slate blocks like so. And since it does a 3x3 area, we can quickly make ourselves a tunnel or get ourselves some deep slate without even having to damage our pickaxe. If you've ever tried to get a skeleton to hit a creeper, then you know it's not an easy task, but it's a necessary one if we want to fill out our music disc collection, so we'll have to get creative. And luckily, this user has the right idea. See, Minecraft counts assists the same way that it does kills, meaning if we have a skeleton shoot a piece of TNT, ignite it, and then that kills the creeper, we'll get the music disc the same way. Simple as that. If you have only 3 dirt blocks, you're rich, or at least richer than you might think, since if you have 3 dirt blocks, it's actually possible to trade that up to an emerald. Now, the way that we do this in 1.19 is that we turn our dirt into mud using a water bottle, and then dry it out on a dripstone rack like such to get ourselves our very own clay blocks, which if we then break, we can trade with a stonemason to get ourselves an emerald. It's not exactly the fastest trade, but it's definitely possible. And this proves that even when you're dirt poor, you're still not as poor as you think you are. And after changing that dirt into clay for a trade with a mason, you'll want to keep that villager on hand, because these fellas can have some extra useful trades for when you're not trying to go mining or digging for your building blocks. Like, why not use those emeralds that you got to get yourself all the different kinds of colored terracotta or glazed terracotta. And once you get your mason up to a master level, being able to trade an emerald for a quartz pillar or block of quartz is an insane steal. If you're using a mending bow, then you've got to use spectral arrows. Now, they sound costly, but with the help of bartering, they're actually pretty easy to get in large quantities. And by using these, we're able to help keep track of the slippery mobs that might get away. Like, say you're down in the ancient cities and you're trying to look for a warden. Well, if you use one one of these to hit a warden, then you'll be able to track it down even when the darkness debuff is active. Which is good, because the warden's definitely not a mob that you want to turn your back on. While the Swift Sneak enchantment is meant to help out down in the ancient cities, it can also be useful above ground for when you're trying to speed bridge. And looking at this comparison between no Swift Sneak and Swift Sneak 3, you can really see that there's a massive difference. And honestly, I'm just glad that there's a method now to speed bridge without ever learning how to speed bridge. Because if you're like me, I could never get down the timing. Looting is one of the quintessential enchantments in Minecraft, which means it's a bummer when it's only limited to swords. Or so you'd think. You see, if you chuck your Looting 3 sword to your offhand slot, then you can use something like a bow and still have the enchantment applied. And from where I'm standing, that's all upsides, folks. Not only do you save from damaging your prized weapon, but you also gain a bunch of range. Sure, you still do have to walk in close to collect the items, but look at the alternative. If you're asking if I'd rather walk up to a creeper and fight it, or just pick up a pile of gunpowder, I think the choice is clear.